Like,
Oh, okay. Guess you're live, Suresh.
yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Bat Balla. And we had another rather one-sided game yesterday between Gujarat and Mumbai. Uh, I thought Mumbai was a little toothless in their approach again. But credit to Gujarat, the way their bowlers, especially Siraj and Krishna delivered yesterday, I think it was pretty amazing. So Mumbai again, like a typical Mumbai side, they have been typically slow starter in the IPL,
Yeah.
right? And again, they are sticking to that funda. They've lost back-to-back games. Your initial thoughts on the same, Sulesh?
Yeah, no, see, I think, like, I mean, we know that Mumbai are slow starters, right? And that's okay. I mean, that's how they play. What was surprising to me is the fact that, like you said, the approach, and there's hardly much of an effort to actually chase down the target. I mean, the whoever came in, they lost quick wickets early, and post that, the scoring rate kept going up, and these guys didn't really play much in terms of chasing the target. So I think that's the worrying signs for Mumbai. And great. I mean, let's start off with the Gujarat Titans batting, right? And I think it's a very top heavy batting, and they trust the top. Sai Sudharsan they've been grooming him for some time. He's now coming in as a very good player. Gill is always has a lot of talent, and you add Joss Butler. I think it's probably one of the best top three right now in the IPL.
Yeah, yeah. Probably very close to the. I mean, slightly different in terms of approach as if you compare them
Yeah,
with someone like SRH. But I think
yeah,
right up there with respect to talent and with respect to the temperament and the experience as well. So again,
yeah,
I think we have to talk about Sai Sudarshan. Shubman Gill, we know
mm,
what he can do. He's done. He's been really consistent over the last 3 4 years now. But Sai Sudarshan since last year, I think is one of the brightest stars to watch out for, right? And he had a very good last season with Gujarat, and this time again he's got a great start. And yesterday again, I think initially he took his time. Then there was a middle phase where he sort of accelerated pretty well. In the later
yeah.
half, I think he struggled, but again, I think that probably that was the nature of the pitch when ball got a little older. It was not coming onto the bat that well. But still, I think initially when we were watching, right, we thought that it's a sort of a par score, not a typical Ahmedabad wicket where like the first game where they scored more than 230, 240, right? But it was
Yeah.
a very good total, and I think credit must be given to the way Sudarshan batted, especially with the wickets falling around him. Especially in that back end, they moved from 179 for three to 179 for six in a
Yeah.
matter of few balls. But I think the kind of start, the kind of platform that was set, I think that made all the difference.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think one crucial factor here is the presence of Joss Butler, right? I mean,
Yeah,
somebody who's so experienced and one of the best all-time great white ball batsmen of our era for sure, hands down. And an IPL great as well. He has played for Rajasthan. He has scored those big centuries. And when you have a youngster like Sai Sudarshan coming up, you need players like Josh Butler to groom and guide. And that's exactly what's happening. It's so heartening to see, right? The Indian youngsters getting what do you call encouragement and getting motivation from the best white ball players in the world, and good for India, good for Indian cricket, good for Sai Sudarshan as well. And I don't know. I mean, we have discussed it many times. Rajasthan Royals not retaining Butler is one of the biggest blunders of the auction, and he's showing his value. He's showing his true worth for Gujarat, not just as a batsman, but I think as a leader, as a potential help to Gill, as well as the overall stability to the batting lineup. I think Butler adds a lot of value to the squad, and that's clearly shown. I mean, you're okay if it's okay if Butler doesn't score at the rate he scores otherwise, but he will. We know that he will. But that presence he gives in the squad is adding a lot of stability to that top order.
that is very true, Suresh. Actually, talk about
Yeah,
that core leadership group. Every team
yeah,
has got that core leadership group, which is
yeah,
other than the captain and the vice captain, of course. And Butler is there. The presence of Butler in that camp will make a lot of
mm,
difference. I think the last year when Pandya moved to Mumbai, I think you saw that there was
yeah,
something missing in
yeah,
the GT setup, right? They had mostly the
yeah,
same set of players, which as they were having in the previous years. But I think something was
yeah,
missing. I think that was a core leadership, some a senior person, the presence of a role model probably, which Hardik Pandya did pretty well in the first couple of seasons, right? And
yeah.
then I think Butler over there is probably adding a huge value behind the scenes as well, and his batting is also not. I mean, it's probably.
Yeah.
I know he's past his peak as a cricketer, but
Yeah.
still he's pretty good to be there and basically express himself.
Correct. And probably before we go to the Mumbai batting, one last thing I'll discuss is I am not fully still convinced about the Gujarat middle order. I think when we discussed when that auction, when the team was announced, and when we discussed the probable 11, we thought that's the weakness, right? You don't have that. I mean, Tewatia's there, Shahrukh is there. I think they have Abhinav Manohar as well. He didn't play yesterday. But
Yeah.
that middle order is not looking that great. And like you said, those quick wickets that fell, that's exactly the weakness of this team. It's very top heavy, not that great in the middle order and the lower order. I know they have hitters like Shahrukh and Abhinav. They're not really come to the party, but that I think is their weakness.
I think, yeah. I mean, they might not be as strong as they would have liked to be.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the replacement, the potential players, who could find a place in the playing 11. One obviously is Washington Sundar. Again,
yeah,
could be very handy in the lower middle order. I think he'll come into the picture when they play in, at Eden or probably at Chipok and on those kind of wickets. And they have someone like Glenn Phillips in the background. So if required, probably
yeah,
that will require them to sort of do some changes with respect to the combination of four overseas
maybe.
players. But I
Yeah.
think they have this option. But they definitely lack an experience in the Indian middle order batter. So,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, the top three will probably decide the fate of their tournament. Another thing which I wanted to
Mm.
touch on is Mumbai's bowling. I think we discussed this. The presence of Bumrah, the absence of Bumrah rather, is a big
Yeah.
deal for any team, for the Indian side, for whatever team he plays for, right? And this is clearly showing in Mumbai's bowling as well. They've got the likes of Bolt, Chahar, and all those guys. They're there. They're experienced bowlers, but somebody like a Bumrah, I think that's a big miss, big shoes to fill. And another thing is, why would not they not play someone like a Vignesh Puthur, who was
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant in the first game? I know the wicket was not that probably the wicket was not as good
Maybe.
as the Chepauk wicket, but still, having a leg spinner or having a Chinaman is gonna add a lot of value.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree. And the Chinaman is a mystery part, right? I mean, not many teams have the luxury, and you have that, and he's performed so well in this first match, youngster. Very strange. I mean, when I saw the squad, I was like, why is he not there? It just, I mean, I love the bowl. I love the way he bowled. Obviously, the Mallu, so I have some connection, and I'm happy he performed well in the first match. So I was shocked. I was really shocked he didn't play. And you're right. I mean, without Bumrah, suddenly that attack is not as potent as it looks on paper, right?
Yeah.
And even Santner was their experienced person, captain of New Zealand as well. But his absence is really hurting Mumbai. And suddenly, when a team comes and sees that okay, you don't have Bumrah, you always have the back of mind. Okay, this can be managed. We can manage the attack. We can go after them. Bumrah, those 4 overs you can't. That's not possible. But suddenly, without him, yeah, the other teams are like a bit more relaxed. Okay, you know what? Let's attack them. Let's probably they have a weakling somewhere. Let's go after them, and that's what's happening. And once you go after players, it's difficult. I mean, you don't have that backup. You don't have that good quality spinners down the line. Then it's difficult for a bowling unit, and that's what's happening. I think both the matches. I mean, yeah, the CSK match, the pitch was difficult, but otherwise, I don't think this attack is as potent as it's supposed to be. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean they are heavily dependent on, say, someone like a Santner, who again is a
yeah,
is a very T20 bowler. But
correct.
again, yeah,
More
but
of a defensive
you need a
bowler.
yeah,
Yeah,
you need a leg spinner or a Chinaman. I think they
exactly.
should definitely. I'm not too sure if there was any injury concern. Otherwise,
Don't
they
know.
should
Yeah,
definitely play someone like a Vignesh Puthur, who is, I think, gonna be could be the X factor for them. And I'm not too sure
yeah,
when is Bumrah likely to come back. I think in the later half of the season. And
yeah,
I think that Mumbai definitely would not want to be in a situation where the fate is probably already decided by the time Bumrah joins, right? That
yeah.
has happened with them in the past as well.
In the past as
Uh,
well. Yeah,
so yeah, let's see. I think it's still early days in the tournament, so plenty of things can happen. But yeah, okay. Coming to the Mumbai batting, right? Again, Rohit Sharma, again similar struggle, and DSP Siraj
man.
made a point. The kind of celebration he did after getting that wicket. The way he celebrated. I
Yeah.
think they were fine to
Yeah.
prove. Uh, you know,
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I was so happy for Siraj. I was really happy. And I'm one of the guys who felt bad that RCB didn't retain him because he's a really good white ball bowler. And early on, okay, like Rohit Sharma made a point that probably he's not the best old ball bowler. That's fine. But he's a damn good new ball bowler. And you've seen that. I mean, that wobble seam with that seam movement position is too tough to face. And Rohit, come on, man. I mean, I don't. It's high time. We have discussed this with Dhoni yesterday. I think Rohit is the same boat. I mean, 8, 9 years, I have not seen any worthy performance. We have discussed it earlier as well. Rohit Sharma for Mumbai has never been a good batsman for a long time now. And that there is still so much pressure. There's still so much hope for Mumbai. I think it's time that maybe they think that, do we have to move on from Rohit or not? Otherwise, I don't see the performance coming from Rohit. And it's very tough. I mean, once you lose those early wickets, like we saw yesterday and the first match, you're always on the back foot chasing big totals. You're mute. You're on mute, show. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Typical Microsoft Teams stuff. Uh, So what I was saying is that the other thing with Rohit is that he is earning like big bucks as well, unlike Dhoni. He's getting 16.5 crores, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
has delivered, right? I know the entire fan following and the fan base around Rohit, the craze around Rohit, and he surely deserves that. But again, I think he has not been consistent in terms of his batting in the IPL for the last so many years. I don't even remember when
Yeah.
Rohit had that tournament defining impact with his bat. He is obviously has captained Mumbai to 5 titles, but with respect to batting, I think the consistency has always been missing. So another thing which might really concern Mumbai is I know showed some intent and some form yesterday, but again they are heavily reliant on Suryakumar Yadav and Tilak Verma to come good. And so far in
Yeah.
the both the games, I think again they were not able to come that good to an extent where probably they could have won the game for Mumbai. Uh, so yeah, I think again, but we have always known them to be slow starters, and
Yeah.
they could pick up the momentum anytime. But again, I think Rohit is gonna be a question mark for me, as just like Dhoni. We discussed about Dhoni yesterday. So
Yeah.
that is something which I'm really really looking forward to, whether Rohit can make an impact as a batter or not. But I really love the way GT boiled as a unit yesterday. You had
Yeah.
obviously
Oh,
DSP
brilliant.
starting that spell, getting those two
Yeah.
early wickets, and then Prasidh Krishna, the way he bowled, I think is really commendable.
No, I mean, you're right. And see, once you have a fast bowling coach, you know your fast bowling is going to be good. And that's exactly what has happened. And again, we discussed this when we were looking at the GT squad, right? One of the main highlights was their fast bowlers. I mean,
Indian fast
four
bowlers,
fast
yeah,
bowlers.
rather.
Yeah, four fast bowlers yesterday. Ishan Sharma, Siraj, Rabada, and then Prasidh. All are. I mean, Prasidh. Okay, we had a question mark, right? What will he turn up? But other than that, those three we have mentioned are really good bowlers, and they have stood up. And if you add Prasidh in form, Prasidh with the height, he gets a really good bounce. You know that if he bowls well, he can get those line. If he gets the ball in the right area, the right length, it's a tough bowler to face, and he bowls at a 145 click. So that bowling lineup is suddenly looking very strong, and your spinners, Rashid Khan, probably the
Yeah,
world's best spinner, right? And Sai Sudharsan is bowling well. He's a very economical bowler as well. Like how you have
Sai Kishore.
Kunal
I think you mean Sai Kishore.
Sai Kishore, sorry, Sai Kishore. Just like how you have Kunal Pandya for RCB, good left arm spin in the middle. So I suddenly that bowling lineup was looking very strong, and hats off to Nera to identify those raw, good fast bowlers, and they're actually getting results from that bowling attack.
I think they've got someone like a Coatsy as well in the
Yeah,
waiting on the bench. So I
backup.
think that is a good backup to have, right? And like you
Yeah,
mentioned, I think that I think the mantra for Gujarat is going to be from the batting point of view. They are dependent on top three or top four rather. They want Shubman Gill, Josh Butler, and Sai Sudarshan to basically do the bulk of scoring for them, and
yeah,
then their ball
yeah,
will definitely come to the party. They are suited, especially if there's any little help for these guys. For the fast ballers, I
yeah,
think they will exploit the conditions better than anyone else. So
yeah,
good early signs for Gujarat, and I'm really looking forward to the way because again Gill is the vice captain of Indian white ball setup, right? And
yeah,
uh, we all clearly know that he's one of the contenders to take over the captaincy in the coming years for India as well, right? So I'm really
yeah,
really excited to see how Gill carries his carries himself not only as a batter in this tournament, but I'm more looking forward to his captaincy skills. Especially in those crunch situations, in the later half of the tournament when there's that knockout pressure and
yeah.
all those run rate things will come into the picture and all those things will happen. I'm really looking forward to that scenario.
No, you're correct. You're right. I mean, and what they played both matches Ahmedabad, right? So you want to see how they're playing as a traveling unit as well. Yeah, so Gill will be under pressure in certain times, and good to have Butler as a colleague in that team, right? And one of the greatest captains also. So I think he's in good hands, unlike last time, like you mentioned. So I'm looking forward to the team. Uh, Coming back to Mumbai, do you? I mean, like one of the reasons why Mumbai always struggles to start off well is the fact that they don't get the combination right always, right? Initially, early on, you
Yes.
think they look at a Will Jacks instead of Ryan Rickelton. I know that they played two matches. He's flopped in both the matches, and you have Will Jacks who's played so well in the last IPL. You think he'll be given a look in?
I think at some point of time, Will Jacks will definitely come into the picture, right? And especially
Yeah,
if both your openers are not in form, right? Rohit and
yeah,
Rickelton, both are struggling. Then definitely there's a case for Jacks coming into the picture. And because the combination which they're trying to do, they still have someone like a Robin Mins who can do the wicket keeping duties, right? I know his again as a batter he has not done too well in the last couple of games, but again early days for him as well. But I
yeah,
definitely see them roping in, and they have to find a way to rope in Will Jacks in the 11, right?
yeah,
But again, we'll have to see early days. But the other good thing with Mumbai is that they have got a couple of good backups as well. Like Will Jacks. Not too many teams have has got that liberty. So definitely a
yeah.
possibility of Jacks coming into the picture at some point of time.
And since you mentioned Vince, the last that part I missed. I couldn't watch the match of that part actually. Why was he sent ahead of Hardik Pandya? Is that people are saying that Dhoni magic is rubbing on Hardik as well? But
I,
and Hardik played a very strange innings also, right? Didn't really
yeah,
go
yeah,
off.
yeah. Yeah. So actually, I think there is a very fine line, and that's my take. That's my personal view. There is a very, very
Yeah,
fine line between promoting a youngster and not putting yourself in that situation, right? For example, in
yeah,
both the scenarios, uh, let's talk about this Hardik thing. So Hardik is the captain of the side, right? And he pushed Robin Mins. We know that
yeah,
Robin has got a good domestic record. He's a good T20 player. But again, at that point of time, Mumbai needed someone who's got that experience because that was a tricky situation, and they needed a good inning over there. And I mean, I know not doubting the credentials of or the talent of Robin Mins, but you would expect someone like Pandya to be out there in the middle, rather than a youngster at that situation when especially when the opposition bowlers are bowling damn well and the condition
yeah,
is also sort of so that was a little weird. But again, Hardik is like, I mean, he is someone who doesn't shy away from doing experiments, and the beauty of the experiments is that sometimes they will fail, right? But you might
yeah.
end up getting something which is like magical. So I won't blame him for that. I think, but again, it probably made a lot more sense if Hardik would have come at that position instead of Robin.
No, I agree, agree. And I mean, this whole school of thought, right? The Dhoni school of thought, the Hardik Pandya school of thought is how deep can I take it? Like if I'm there in the end, I will win the match for you. That's the thing, right? And more often than not, it's sort of you're discounting how good the opposition can be. You're assuming that if I'm there, I will win, but you're discounting that fact. And I think sometimes you should be thinking more on that. It can't be just that okay, just because I'm there in the end, we'll win the match. Probably, like I said yesterday as well. Probably if Hardik or a Dhoni comes in early, gets whatever possible runs you can get, a quick fire 200 strike rate, 30, 40 runs. That could make it easy for the batsman coming later as well. You should think in that angle also. And you're discounting the people who are again coming after you as well. That nobody else can do it, only I can do it. And if I have to do it, I have to be there till the end. But if you're being there till the end, you're ensuring that I'll probably face balls, I'll stop balls, or I'll not attack balls, which I can attack right now because I'm supposed to be there at the end. And that just creates a lot of pressure on you, a lot of pressure on the people around you, the coming guys who are coming after you. I don't know if that strategy is the best strategy, to be really frank.
No, actually, the time has changed. We have moved
Yeah.
on from that brand of cricket, long ago. Especially in the last couple of
Yeah.
seasons, the way some riders have been playing. If the opposition is putting like 270 or say 240, 230 plus
Yeah.
on board, then that strategy won't work. I mean, that
Won't work.
strategy is only probably will work for you if you are chasing something around 170, 180. And
Hmm.
then if in the final couple of overs, if you need 30, 35, you can do it. But
You
again,
can
if
do it.
you're
Yeah.
playing this and you're chasing say something like 220, 230, and with say if you need like 60 odd in the final 3 overs, it's gonna be really really hard if no matter who the players and who the batter is, the situation will
Yeah.
get really really difficult. And I think that's where the teams will have to realize that the times have changed and we have to
Yeah.
constantly evolve. And that is where the Dhoni way is not working right now. At least in this season, we can clearly see that. In the last season, also we saw that. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's. I mean, let's see. I mean, I'm sure these guys are there, smart people sitting behind the scenes as well,
Yeah.
who would figure out the strategy, who would figure out the right analytics for these guys. and I'm sure they will come back harder. Even CSK, I mean, I'm banking them to
Yeah,
sort of come back stronger today. I think let's move on and talk about the two games which are scheduled for today. But first is between Delhi and Sunriser, which is supposedly to be placed in Visakhapatnam, right? And that is
yeah,
that
yeah.
I find it really weird. So now that is like technically Delhi's home game. Why would you want to play Sunrisers Hyderabad at Visakhapatnam as your home game? That's really weird.
It's weird. Yeah, I also don't understand. I mean, it's in Andhra. You have all the support possible for Hyderabad, and you're calling it your home game. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to understand.
Okay,
It's
I can
IPL.
understand if Delhi wants to play a couple of games at Visakhapatnam, but why would you want to play it against Hyderabad? Play it against someone else. Play it against Rajasthan. Play it against probably, I don't know, Punjab. That's weird. And the other game obviously is Rajasthan versus CSK. That is at Guwahati. I'm sure it will be more of a CSK's home game again, just because of probably because of Dhoni. So we'll have
Yeah.
to watch out for that. Any predictions on both the games? We clearly know the way Sunriser will come. Especially their batters they will try and prove a point again, especially after that mishap against Lucknow at Hyderabad a couple of days ago.
Yeah. But I like the Delhi squad. I mean, I think that they're putting up a good squad right now, and I think KL didn't play the first match.
Yes, he will come
And if
back today.
KL he'll come back today, yeah. So I'm looking forward to KL back. I mean, I think once if KL also comes into the attack, they're looking like a very strong squad, right? I mean, with Ashutosh and stuff. So I'm looking forward to the squad. I don't think it'll be an easy match for SRH. I don't think SRH should take it
No,
lightly. Yeah,
no.
I'm looking forward to a close match. I mean, and LSG has shown right that, and Shardul clearly mentioned the point. He mentioned that if they can attack, a border also can attack. So hit the stumps as much as possible, and you never know, right? So I'm sure Delhi has taken a leaf out of Shardul Thakur's book, and they're going to attack SRH as well. So it'll be a close match, is what I feel. RR CSK, like you said, I'm banking on CSK. RR doesn't the first two matches I've seen, they've been completely out of sort. And I don't know why Riyan Parag is leading the squad. It doesn't look like he's somebody who's instilling a lot of confidence in the bowling unit. So I'm again expecting CSK to come back strong after their loss to RCB.
Yeah. I think fair point. I think if we talk about the Delhi game first, and Delhi has got all the resources as well with respect to fast bowling. If I
Yeah.
mean a lot of teams last year as well. Mitchell Stark proved that. A lot of fast bowlers have already proved that if you want to get Travis Head early, be on his stumps, right,
On
right from
some.
the ball
Yeah.
go, from the world go, from the ball one, and if there is a little bit
Yeah.
of seam movement, he might be a little tentative in the start, right? So I think that is something which the likes of probably I don't know with Delhi seamers would probably look forward to exploit that part.
Yeah.
And let's see again. I think, but again we know the template which Sunrisers batter, irrespective of the result of the game, last game, they'll follow, so they'll come back hard for sure. And talk about the other game, I think a lot of question marks on both the teams, especially Rajasthan. I think their balance is completely off. Rajasthan,
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the way, I mean, they don't have Sanju as a captain right now. I don't know. It's still a couple of games before he sort of completely becomes
Mhm.
fit. It is getting really hard for them. I know Parag is a talented bloke, but again, captaining is a different thing, right?
May not
And
be. Yeah.
somewhere that he's really aggressive, he's really brash. I'm not too convinced about his captaincy skills, especially at this point of time, right? So
Mm.
they'll have to do something really out of their way to come back into this tournament, And for CSK, I think I hope that as a CSK fan that they would have done some analysis after the last game, and they probably there is some change in the some change in the batting lineup, because clearly this Huda at four, Tripathi at the opening slot is not working out for them.
Yeah.
The players either need to find some form, at top of the order, or they need to find some replacement of some sort. I don't know. Which currently
Mm.
I am not too sure from where they'll get those guys who can be those replacements.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think, but I'm banking on CSK. I think that management will figure out something, and they always do. So,
Yes, they do. They do. Cool, man. I think looking forward to the double dhamaka on Sunday. We'll be back
yeah.
tomorrow morning before our office, obviously.
Yeah.
Cool. Have a nice one. Thank you, guys.
You too. Bye.